The at first considerable stairs to juridically defending the top seas are to get location at the UN in New York. These water, certain as the outdoor sea far of coastlines, are endangered by profound sea mountain, above fishing and the patent of sea gene asset. Above the following 2-year, by the government representatives aim to mallet out a mandatory treaty to defend them versus above exploitation. But several nations, consisting the US, are tepid to the proposals. Expert trust how the oceans of the planet are urgent for a quantity of reasons. Scientists say they seize about 90% of the additional warmth and on 26% of the excessive carbon sequestration dioxide created by humans via the flaming of fossil embers and some activities. This part of our Earth that is top seas is defending Earth lifetime of the lowest impacts of environment changing, told Professor Alex Rogers of Oxford College, UK, who has stipulated testimony to report the UN contract trial received by way on Tuesday. Still we do too slight to protect how or to defend the lifetime during the sea that is inherent to our joint surviving. Defending the biodiversity conservation of the top seas by earning nice management and law to the entire sea is the solitary largest essential item we can do to rotate the tidal for the dark blue cardiac of our Earth. The top seas are certain as the oceans how lie for exceptional economical zones. These zones are normally during 370 km, 200 maritime miles, of a nation's shoreline. These water lid 1 and a part times the full Earth region of the Earth and are household to several of the rarest and largest charisma kind, but all countries include the order to swim, fly above, conduct out research study and minnow on the top seas out of limitation. In 1982, the UN adopted the Convention of the Law of the Sea, UNCLOS, that, while it became busy in 1994, controlled ocean bed mountain and cord laying to several degree. Down there are as well a army of some world groups, consisting the World Whaling Committee how sea following aspects of the seas, but down there is no comprehensive contract how would defend biodiversity conservation or range operation. The underwater planet far of beach is as well of increasing concern since the odd and beautiful creatures how dwell down there may conduct to new pharmaceutical, surely a choose team of study bodies trust that to be the instance in 84% of patent associated to sea kind registered by fair 30 institutions above the history 30 year. He's the identical history while it comes to fishery. Sea vessels of 10 wealthy countries, amongst them Japan, Korea and Spain, get about 70% of the capture. Several teaching with Sputnik information include shown the scope of fishery take location off of domestic water, consisting the experience of discharge catches on to some sea vessels in world water, thing how allows boats to avoid tracking and coercion. Down there would be 3 potential beginnings to any new contract. First of all, it would enable the installation up of sea secured areas in world water, thing lot countries include already made in their own jurisdictions. A new agreement would as well enable the transport out of ecological effect assessments to guardsmen versus capacity damage of activities on the top seas. In supplement, a brand new, juridically mandatory transactions would enable poorer countries to gain of any show advanced of sea gene asset. A powerful world sea contract would enable us to build a web of sea sanctuaries to defend living nature, provide meal safety for billions of human beings, and assist us to gear environment changing, Sandra Skoetner, a sea biologist in Greenpeace, said news story agencies. The U.S. discarded the UNCLOS contract behind in 1994 and is restrained on these new proposals. Several rorqual hunting countries, such as Japan, Iceland, and Norway, are told to be careful on the concept since they terror it will limit their fishery operative. Russia is as well told to be pulling its feet. Campaigners, although, are upbeat how ultimately a transactions will be achieved. This present top seas management framework is poor, fragmented and unsuitable to address the threats we now person in the 21st age of environment changing, illicit and above fishing, plastic contamination and aerial losing, told Peggy Callis, of the Top Seas Association. The is a historical prospect to defend the biodiversity conservation and functions of the top seas via juridically mandatory commitments.